Welcome to another video. Today's video, I'm gonna try to get the Challenger ready to be taken out in the road. Maybe drive it just around the block here. Possibly go test it at the drag strip if I can get it to learn. Stay tuned. Okay, so just picking up from last episode, I cleaned the seatbelts a little bit. They were super gross. I let them soak, but I didn't really scrub them just because I'm gonna have to clean up everything, and more than likely I'm gonna have to replace these. They're a little rusted, so for now they'll do, but in the long run they'll have to be replaced. Really, there's no saving those. Couple of the buckles are okay and stuff like that, but everything kind of set inside. Actually, I called the guy that does my windshields, and he's gonna come later today get this windshield replaced. I decided to go ahead and just replace it because he priced it out at $225 installed total out the door, and I mean that's super good price, I think. So rather than, I know it doesn't clean. I mean, I cleaned it before, and all this, you know, where these cracks are, I think like water dust has gone in between the two glasses. This kind of gray stuff. I haven't tried steel wool, but still, you know, it's really cracked and everything. So I figure, I mean, I am gonna want a new window anyways, and if I do start driving it, I'll probably get pulled over like this. So gonna get that done. I was installing the seatbelt, so that's going in there just so I have some seatbelts in. Other than that, I mean, I can get the car on the ground. I do have to finish tying down the battery. These bolts need to be tightened up a little bit, and more than likely, well, not more than likely, I am gonna put the I guess this is not the hinge, the latch here for the trunk, because, you know, I need the trunk to be able to close. So I can unlatch it with a screwdriver, flathead. So that's just gonna have to do for now. I do need to get some grommets, so for like that wire that goes to the fuel pump, and then up here I do have the one for the O2 sensor right here, which, I mean, it's got loom, but I think I'm gonna see if I can go get a grommet. And then for the transmission wires too, it has some loom and I can add some tape, but I would be happier if I put a grommet in there. So other than that, I went ahead and took the moldings off the window just because some of the bolts were really rusted, and it came out pretty good, actually really easy. So there was actually only 2 bolts, which are right here. I just wanted to make sure those would come off, and then a couple in the corner here for these corner pieces. And I also was vacuuming and cleaning out the channel here. Obviously when he takes the window out, he's gonna take the glue off. I just don't know if he, technically it's not his job really to take some of like little bit of rust and really bad stuff in there. He just has to clean up where the glue goes, really. And he might have cleaned everything, I don't know, but I didn't want to, you know, that's technically not his job. He's just replacing the window. So or, you know, I don't know, he would charge extra, but I figured I'd just spend some time, and it's pretty good now. Maybe when he takes the window off, I'll just kind of jump in with the little wire brush and do a quick all around. But I didn't want him to have to wait like 20 minutes for me to do this. Same with taking the wipers. I know he would take them off, but they were kind of in there. And so I didn't want him to break something or feel, you know, like, hey, I can't take this off because it's gonna break. So I figured I took it out ahead of time. So that's ready for him to just pop it out. He'll probably get this done in like 20 minutes. And for these, and not today, but I ordered some of the sound deadening that I use on my 67, and it's got the kind of like the aluminum on one side, and it's the sticky stuff. And I'm just gonna put that, I'm gonna clean this, take the hood out, clean it really good, because there's like the rust piece here. and put that in here. So I'm gonna plug in all the holes so water doesn't get in the cowl, because the underneath cowl has big holes everywhere. And you know, until I replace it, I want to minimize the amount of water that can get in there. Same with this, like this big old crack here. I'm gonna put probably some RTV or something to try to stop some water from going in, just, you know, because I have the Holly in there. But also the car's gonna go back outside, and now that it's kind of, you know, in a done kind of stage. So couple things, like I said, I have both of the power steering lines here, so I'm gonna see where those fit. Maybe if I have time, I'll run down and see if they can start making me an adapter line to get that electric power steering connected. So let me jump back in and then see what we can get done. And with these seatbelts, kind of not weird, but it's different than any other vehicle. So if I can put this camera down here. It's hard when it's just one person working today, but we'll get it all done here. So this is where the seatbelt bolts on, and so the weird thing on these seatbelts is that they are a 3-point seatbelt, but it's not attached. So the third spot on the top is actually in the headliner. There's little clips that you hold that top seatbelt out to the headliner, and so that's different than, you know, I think I've seen some of the, I don't know, modern cars, but I would say like those cars that used to have the, I think like the electric seatbelts, right? So I don't know if it was it Pontiacs or whatever. And since there's like a track for the seatbelt, you can actually undo the seatbelt on top. But I think some of the old Mustangs too, if they have a 3-point seatbelt, the top part just kind of held on this headliner maybe. But that's how these are. So that kind of helped that the buckle on top is not rusted like crazy, because it was on top. I mean, these work, but like say, like it's where it mounts here when I'm putting this bolt, it's kind of rusted, and there's still metal in there and stuff. But you know, once I start restoring everything, I'm gonna go ahead and get new seat belts, just because, you know, that's just not great, but they're just not great quality, I guess, being half rusted off. So I'll go ahead and put this little clip here to plug this little hole if you go back in there. And I did get new bolts. They're not exactly like the factory ones, but they're, you know, same pitch. And so on the other side, seat belt, it goes right here. So I'm just gonna put this in here. What's nice is the old bolts were kind of rusted, but also the threads were kind of gone. They had gone, I mean, they were really tight on the floorboard, and they were almost stripped. So what's nice is the floorboard came with new, well, the new threads and everything on there. So with new bolts, they thread right in almost by hand. So and these are 7/16 20 thread pitch. I went ahead and got some washers there, but that's pretty much it. So you clip one seat belt to this one, and then the other one to the top. So I guess, you know, you can do both if you want, or you're feeling a little dangerous, you only do your lap one, I guess, or your shoulder one, I don't know. But anyways, I'm gonna get a piece of cardboard, go down here, and then see if I can get those power steering lines figured out. All right, so went ahead and started the power steering hose here. I was kind of figuring out what the best place would be for it, and I think going here between the frame and the QA1 K-member. And then what I did is I went to the hose place, and they just cut the end of that hose, the factory hose there, and then the guy put this little adapter on there, which honestly this line is really long as it is. And then the other hose, he just welded this kind of like a flared fitting, so I can actually just bolt it in here, but I can swivel it either anyway. So I got the hose here bolted on, and then I just gotta hook it up to the pump here on top, which is gonna make it way easier with the swivel, because now I can really angle it any place I want. You know, so I think I'm gonna leave the angle. And he did put a new little O-ring on the end of that, so I think that'll be good. So I think if I hold, you know, maybe angle it like this and just keep it against the frame there, because if I angle it down, I mean, this just kind of sticks down quite a bit. So I think if I angle it up, that's gonna be my best bet here for this hose. Just angle it right there. I can hook it up right here. So let me just thread it. What's nice about this is I can move it down like this, you know, and then tighten it like right there. And I could probably put one of those metal clamps with the bolt right here, so it's nice and tight against the frame. And then the other line, this is just the factory one, and all I did was change the hose, so I got a longer piece of hose so it reaches all the way to the return. So I'm gonna put this on the rack, and this one also I'm gonna try to probably just closer here, because this one just goes through this little spout right there, so that should be pretty straightforward. If I need to ever replace this line, I will have to get a new one made with this fitting, but that's no big deal. I mean, it wasn't too expensive. So our power steering all hooked up. Cool. I'm gonna put some fluid in here and then put the tire back on, and we're ready to go. Went ahead and finished the electric power steering pump, put some fluid in there, got the windshield in, so looks a whole lot better, and from the inside you can actually see out really well. I'm not gonna put the moldings on it. Well, one, I need to get these little clips. I think I might have some extra ones. Actually, I'll see. If I find the extra ones, I might pop them in there, put the moldings back in, get the wipers in there. But for right now, I'll leave them off. So I'm gonna take it off the jack stands now. I just have a maintainer on the battery. I mean, it is 90%, but just get it fully charged. and then see if I can take it around the block. All right, so we got just a little bit of final touches here. If you see the tire, maybe you can't see it too well, but it's still a little bit out from the top, and so I'm gonna get a level, and there is adjustment on the top control arm, but I'm gonna adjust the bottom control arm a little bit, that way I still have more adjustment going. So that needs to be done, and then especially this side a little bit too, and also the toe is way off. I mean, this tire looks like it's pointing this way, the other one looks straight, so I need to do both of those things. A little bit of adjustment, toe, and I guess camber, just that way it drives better. Other than that, that's gonna be pretty much all on the suspension. I am gonna try to get the hood off so I can clean up here where those vents were and put the kind of the cover so water doesn't get in there that easy. Okay, went ahead and got the wheels aligned pretty close, toe and everything, and went ahead and took the hood off, just over there. It's a fossil, and cleaned up this, you know, got most of the surface rust off, spray a little bit of the rust converter, and then I'm gonna put that stuff here to stop the water from just getting in there for the meantime. I'll put a little bit of silicone in this crack here as well, and then I'll put the hood back on, and that'll cover all that. So I'm gonna see if I do have these little clips. I think I have some extra ones, and probably put some here where they're missing, and just put that trim back on there so that way I don't have it laying around the garage. So I'm also gonna cut this towel and put it over the seat, because the I had it on the bottom, but here on the back where this is, you know, kind of broken, it's kind of rough on your back, so just that way something covers here. All right, so went ahead and finished up putting this, it's the sound deadening material, but I just put it up here to cover those holes, and then just kind of spray a little bit of black paint. Put the hood back on, so ready to go. I did change, actually I wanted to show this, I changed the vacuum routing. So I got the vacuum, this already came with the car, but the vacuum port that I chose on the back of the intake right over there was not pulling enough vacuum, very little, like almost nothing. So I think that was part of why the brakes were hard, and also maybe that's why the, you know, computer wasn't running as well, because it just wasn't registering on the, you know, map sensor, the vacuum. So I changed it to here. This, you know, I saved this little piece of metal hose that goes right in there. That one pulls a lot of vacuum. Actually, the brakes are softer now. I'm able to push them and they go down. So I think we're good to go. Put a little bit of coolant. I put a hose clamp in this hose just because it seemed like it was leaking a little bit, and did the alignment. So
all right guys, so we just got to drag strip. Alex is starting to unstrap the car. As you mentioned, it's Midnight Madness, so it's dark out. That's why we did headlights on the Challenger here. So we'll get this unloaded, see if it passes tech. If it passes tech, then we'll go send it. Alex, sorry, loud cars. Alex is gonna just ease into it first, make sure there's no weird vibrations, weird shakes, anything like that on the first run. So we're gonna go really slow first, and then he's gonna try to go a little faster. So we'll see.
We're here at the drag strip, Albuquerque dragway, and we put a little bit of transmission fluid on the tranny because it wasn't registering on the dipstick. But that's just because when I filled it, I never really had it driving right. So now that I drove it a little bit, it went down. So just did that, tying up the battery terminals. We're gonna go to tech. Hopefully we pass inspection, and then I'm gonna try to do a run right away. It looks like there's a lot of really fast cars here, so I want to get a run at least in, with the slow car and come back, maybe get in line again, but we'll see. Get to check inspection first and go from there.
All right, guys, so we got all checked in. Alex was funny. Did number 345, you know, because it's a 5.7 Hemi, you know. How do you feel, Alex?
You know, it was hilarious when I opened the hood for the tech guy. A bunch of acorns from a squirrel fell out the hood. So, but he loved the engine. That's cool.
He was kind of speechless for a second there.
Yeah, I feel good. I mean, I'm gonna go very slow the first run, probably 17 seconds or slower, just to kind of feel out the steering. I haven't had this car faster than like 20 miles an hour, so I really need to just make sure it doesn't pull like crazy. Drive shaft, you know, I had to cut it and they didn't really balance it for me, so we'll see how that goes. Other than that, hopefully once this first run goes through, we can really see if we can go a little bit faster. I don't expect a lot. I know I keep saying that, but I really don't, because first time out. I mean, we'll see what happens. But hopefully we get in line here to run really quick and let her eat.
All right, so we're here in the pits again. Got Alex driving, of course.
We're ready to do another pass, so not flooring it this time for sure. Tires are cold, takes a little bit of pressure out, but hopefully it doesn't go sideways this time. So I'm just gonna ease into it, not floor it like last time. We did a little bit of laps around the parking lot there, so it seems like it's responding a little bit better down low, and hopefully that helped. But like I said, I'm not gonna floor it for sure. I almost crapped my pants last run, so I'm just gonna kind of ease into it, go maybe half throttle, and then just get a good clean pass. And really that's it. I mean, it's a really long line, so we'll see if we get, you know, we'll get this run and then maybe another one. It's getting really late, so we might just get another one. We'll see, but that'll be good. We'll see. At least we can, if I can hit like in the 15s, that'll be good. But if we can just finish one run, it'll be good for today. So
loaded up. It's cold. Second run, I'll have Alex talk about it too. It went smooth, A to B. The track is really cold though. A lot of people are spinning. What do you think, Alex?
yeah, it's I don't think they really prepped it today as they usually do, but it's really cold out here. I mean, I didn't bring a jacket and I was freezing. Good thing the car has a million holes, so the heat was coming in, but it's really cold. Track's not prepped. I had really cold tires that first run. Next run we dropped the tire pressure. I didn't hit full throttle whatsoever, so I did win A to B. I did end up with the 19.7, which is not ideal, but at least I did get a full run. And so now I'm just gonna adjust the coilovers a little bit, because we were looking, I think the car's leaning to one side, and then I'm gonna work on the suspension a little bit, because I think one tire is sticking out and that's making it a little wobbly on the higher speed. And that's it really for next time. Those two adjustments, and then just maybe come and test a little bit more, just so we can get used, or I can get used to the car, because literally this is the first time the car's ran through all the gears. It's been more than 20 miles an hour, and I thought it was gonna be slow as hell. That's why the first time I floored it, and then it was like, yeah, let's go to the right. So, but a lot of the cars were spinning too, so that tells me the track was a little bit bad. The car lost traction, so that was my fault. But Hopefully next, I think in 2 weeks, they have another track day, so we'll come and just see if we can at least get more runs. And then we only got 2 runs today because it's really, really busy. It was taking forever, so it's already, we've been here 4 hours and we only run twice. So we're going now because it's, I think they're probably gonna shut down soon, so it's already really late. So that's it. I mean, just some, you know, this is testing, that's racing. Sometimes you can go fast, most of the time you don't. And especially building a whole car, engine, tranny, everything we put in there. It's a new setup, first time out, everything ran good, no leaks, nothing broke. So that's a plus, you know, like I said, as long as we go home in one piece, that's a plus. So that's it for this episode. Subscribe to the channel, leave any questions, comments below. We'll see you next time.